welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adeni Aji Shafe. Well, hope was restored yesterday for Nigeria under-20 team, the Flying Eagles, as they were able to do well in that particular game against Egypt. Egypt really, they are the hosts, but Nigeria triumphed over them. I have in the studio Yusuf Akubu. Good to have you, Yusuf.
Always a pleasure being here.
Now, let's run through some story in the world of sport as we start with the first story. That has to do with under-20. Well, hope restored as Nigeria edged Egypt in second match. We lost the first match against Senegal, and right now, the first match rather, the second match, we just have to win, and they did, courtesy of Solomon Agbalaka, who scored that goal for Nigeria. And right now, there's still hope for Nigeria to at least be able to make it to the next round for the fact that they were able to defeat the host nation, Egypt, in that very tough match, because Egypt as a host got a lot of support from their fans. But the under-20 team, they were not deterred concerning the noise coming from the fans. They were up to the task as they fought hard in that particular game.
Yeah, fantastic one there for the Junior Eagles. They did very well. I mean, you know, we need to qualify for the World Cup, and this is where it begins. They lost their first game against Senegal, which is also one of the very good sides in this tournament. We saw what they did at Shan, and it's a very, we can't really forget that easily. But then see the Flying Eagles, coming back from that defeat against Senegal to be the host nation yesterday, I think it's a very good one. You know how difficult it is to win in when you're playing against the North American, especially when they are playing at home, and you know, getting that result against host country. I think it's a very good one, and of course, it has set them on the path to qualifying for the next round, and perhaps, you know, qualify for the World Cup.
Now we will be playing Mozambique next, and if you see that particular game, we can say yes, the boys are really getting better each game they've played. They've still two matches now, one against Senegal, second one against Egypt, the host nation. And when they played the first half, it went 0-0. There was no goal scored, and people were like, what's going to happen concerning that team? Will they be able to do it now? Because if they had lost that game yesterday, hope was it will have been lost. Hope will have been lost. But right now, for the fact that they were able to get that goal, and that hope restored against Mozambique, do you think we can do it? Because before you talk, let's look at the group right now. That's Group A, talking about the table now after they play those matches. Senegal are topping with 6 points. They have they've played 2 matches. They are yet to lose a match. They actually won 2 with 4 goals they score. They defeated Nigeria 1-0, and they got 3 against Mozambique. Nigeria will be facing Mozambique next. We played 2, we won 1, and we drew. We lost 1. So we have 3 points, followed by Egypt, the host nation, who have a -1, and Mozambique, who are yet to win. They got a draw and they got a loss in this particular encounter. So they have 1. Egypt also they having 1. Nigeria having 3. And if you look at it, Mozambique will be hoping that if they can beat Nigeria, they will have 4 points. Egypt will be hoping that if they can beat Senegal, they will have 4 points. Nigeria also, we need to beat Mozambique to also scale through.
Yes, if you look at it very well, I think the group is already, you know, looking so separated. I really do not think.
Get a draw.
I really don't think Nigeria will lose against Mozambique. I think we're going to beat them mercilessly. We saw what they play against Senegal. Senegal do the very good team. Don't also underestimate the Nigerian Flying Eagles. You know, when it comes to Super Eagles, Nigeria against Senegal, there is this rivalry. It doesn't matter who is in form or who is not in form, but there is the rivalry that actually plays in the player's mind. I think that is what you saw in that game against Senegal, that we actually lost in the first game. But again, in Egypt, I think we came back, get that 3 points against the host nation. It's not an easy match, as you saw yesterday. And then we are going against the Mozambique, who I think are going to be the whipping boys in this group. I think for me, Nigeria and of course Senegal will actually qualify from that group to the next round. Then for the Egypt and Mozambique, I think they have to go and get prepared for the next tournament.
Now, the one dicey thing about that particular group is the fact that even if we are looking for draw against Mozambique, although I know we can win, but we shouldn't play a draw, because if we play a draw and Egypt beats Senegal, Egypt will also have 4 points, and that's if we play draw, we'll have 4 points. It's very, very risky for us. So it's better that we win our game against Mozambique. Mozambique seems to be the whipping boys of this group.
Yes, absolutely. They are the whipping boys here, and I think we're going to beat them, and of course qualify, probably even top in the group.
If Egypt could actually get
results
goals against
Senegal, so Nigeria can actually, you know, top that group and qualify for the
Senegal. If Senegal could get 3 goals against Mozambique,
yeah, exactly. So I think we should be able to, even if we can't get 3, we should get 2. should get to against Mozambique, and then at least try and see that we don't concede.
Well, the man of the match, Solomon Agbalaka, actually scored that goal also. Let's look at him, performance coming from Solomon Agbalaka for the fact that he got that goal, a fantastic one for the player, because this will actually be a morale booster to the entire team for the fact that one of them got the man of the match. And that's like, everybody will be like, okay, we can do this. Let's continue to do well in this tournament.
Yes, that's the spirits, the Ladamboso boys. They have, you know, before this tournament, they played a couple of friendly games. They did well. Some they lost. Some they did not do so well in some of those friendly matches. But again, at the tournament proper, after that baptism of fire by the Senegalese, I think they have actually gone back to the drawing board and see, look, we need to beat Egypt, the host nation, whatever it takes for us to qualify for the next World Cup. And you know, at this age group competition, Nigeria is one of the best in Africa.
We've won this competition 7 times.
7 times. We are the most successful team in this tournament, a country in this category of the tournament. So I think that will also spur the players or to give their best in their next game and make sure that they qualify for I think the goal now is to qualify for the World Cup. And even at the World Cup, I think we've played the finals once in, if I can remember, in 2005.
Analysis.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Absolutely. So in 2005, I can still remember the like of Messi, John Mikel Obi, Taiwan Co. in that tournament. So I think we're actually looking at that and then see how we can qualify and of course get back to the world stage and then move on to continue from where the rest of the team have actually stopped.
Well, we'll be talking about Nigeria under 2020, what they call Flying Eagles. They were able to beat Egypt 1-0. Although that one goal has actually fetched us 3 points. That has given us our hope that we can make it to the next round. We'll be facing Mozambique on Saturday, and hopefully Nigeria can actually finish it up there against Mozambique. They lost against Senegal 3-0, and right now we are second on the log of our Group A behind Senegal, who right now they've qualified after winning 2 matches. They defeated Nigeria and also Mozambique. They'll be facing host nation Egypt in their own 3rd match, while Nigeria face Mozambique, and we hope that our boys will actually romp Mozambique in that particular game for us to be able to make it. And the 4 finalists, the semi-finalists in this competition, will qualify for the World Cup. And from the way it is, we believe that Lambozo and his lads can qualify Nigeria there. Now we're moving away from that story. Let's talk about the MPFL. Matches were played. 2 games were played yesterday by Elsa Rivers, and also not forgetting Kwara United, El Kanemi. El Kanemi Kwara ended 2-1 in favor of Kwara United, who came visiting in Maiduguri. Jide Fatukun scored, although he had to reply the goal scored by David Inaji, who scored first in the 20th minute. You have Godwin Oshagbemi making it 2-1 in favor of Kwara United. They called them the Afoja boys. They were able to do well in that game, winning away in Maiduguri, a fantastic one for them. And Bayelsa United versus Rivers United ended 2-2. Bayelsa was able to at least share the spoil against Rivers United. Daniel Ekpo and Mizo got 2 goals for Bayelsa United, while Chiamaka Madu and Malakai Ohahume, they were able to get those 2 goals also for Rivers United.
Yes, it's a good one for them, especially for Kwara United, winning the battles of the Warriors in Maiduguri. It was not a mean feat. I remember a couple of weeks ago, they were really not doing so well. They were losing games at home. I think their coach was even giving ultimatum 3 matches to see how he can actually salvage the team this season. So, but again, I think from then I think they've been able to get their act together, and then getting this result away in Maiduguri is a fantastic result for them. I mean, coming even from behind after went a goal down in the first half, then they came back from behind, and then getting this goal is a very good one. For Rivers United and of course Bayelsa United, this is a battles of familiar foes. 2 teams from the same region.
Same region, South Derby.
Okay, in fact, they are next door neighbors, so as it is. So I think it's a very good one for them. Sharing the spoil, that last minute equalizer from Mizo for Bayelsa United is a very good one for them. I think this is like half of the season. The average league is about I think they play 9 games now. 9 more matches to go. So I think we're actually getting close to that point where you can actually separate men from the boys as it is right now. For Rivers United, I actually think that you take this form back into the CAF Confederations Cup and see how they can actually, salvage Nigeria in the continental competition.
You look at Rivers United, after defeating ASEC Mimosa 3-0 in Uyo, they are not playing at home now, they're playing in Uyo as their own home. But you expect them to at least transfer that to playing well against Bayelsa United. We know Bayelsa United, they are not being in good form this season, so I'm surprised to see them playing 2-2 against Bayelsa.
Yeah, these are familiar foes, you must understand. It's a derby game. It's a derby game. Sometimes the form doesn't really count, and that is what you saw in that game yesterday. So it is a matter of who come to the team with their A game. So that is what I saw. Football is not mathematics. You cannot say because you beat Mr. A, you should also be able to beat Mr. B or C. So sometimes it doesn't work that way. So
if Mr. C refused to play like Mr. A. Just giving you an update there concerning that particular match. Let's quickly look at the table in that group. We look at Group A and B after they complete match day 9. Although Rivers United will still be playing, let's look at Group A now. Bende Insurance are topping there. No loss yet. They have done all the business by winning all their matches. They drew one of the matches there. Well, we look at Eyimba also trailing them with 16 points after having 6 goal difference. Bende Insurance is 23 points. You have Aqua United with 15, Plateau United, Remo Stars. You have Gombe, Shooting Stars, Kwara United. Kwara United now they've upstaged Nasarawa from the 8th position now. Nasarawa is now 9th on the law. They were 10 before, they jumped to 8. Now they are back to 9. You have El Kanemi Warriors. El Kanemi, they have just 5 points from playing 9 matches, minus 11. It means they've conceded more goals, considered so many goals, minus 11 there. Nasarawa, they have minus 5 alongside Kwara United. And Kwara United are having an edge of 2 points ahead of Nasarawa United, yes. 9-7. Gombe and Shooting, they have 10 points apiece, and you have Plateau Remo also 14, the same point. Then Aqua 15, 1 ahead of them, 16 for Eyimba, and Bende Insurance seems to be the only team that you can say, okay, categorize them as a leader. Really, they deserve it.
Yeah, absolutely. If you see what they've done so far this season, they've given. I mean, it doesn't really come to some of us as a surprise, given the kind of support they're actually getting from the state government. So I think they are actually replicating that on the field of play, and that is why you're actually seeing the result. 23 points from 9 games. Fantastic result. How else do you want to rate the season? They are like a runaway leader in this group, and I think not anybody can actually catch them as it is now. And 7 points ahead, 9 more games to go. I think they've won this group.
Well, but I wouldn't say they've actually won the group because it's still very dicey. 9 matches, anything can still happen.
Yes, anything can still happen, 9 matches. But again, if you look at what they've done so far this season, you give it to them. Eyimba, they're actually coming up strong, but again, you can't really, they are neither here nor there. They have been wobbling and fumbling in some of the matches that you really do not, expect them to lose. Like their game against Zambia Warriors, I was actually expecting them to win, but again, it doesn't go their way. But like you said, more matches to go, anything can happen, but I think Bende Insurance will take this one.
Well, I'll take you by your word by that particular statement there. Let's look at Group B after they also played their match day 9, where Bayelsa Rivers shared this point 2-2 there. We look at how we stand right now. This is the toughest group so far because it's so close. Lobby Stars, they are topping with 19 points after 9 matches. Sunshine Stars, 15. They are trailing by 4 points, where Rivers are actually third because they actually added 1 more point after playing 2-2 against Bayelsa. They have 14 points.
15 points.
Yes, at least from the way it is, they have 2 matches to play because of the involvement in the CAF Confederation. So, Abia Warriors, you can look at Rivers. If Rivers can win the remaining 2 matches, they can still top this group.
Yes, if they win their outstanding matches. Yes. It depends on who they are playing against. They will actually, they'll move to top.
I'm sure they'll be playing Abia and they'll be playing Enugu Rangers.
So these are 2 tough games. They can't actually, these are games that Rivers can lose or draw as the case may be.
Or win.
Or win. But Abia Warriors and Enugu Rangers, these are not pushover clubs. These are, strong teams. So it's going to be difficult for Rivers to win those 2 games. But I actually hope they win so that they can actually move to the top of the group. They are Nigeria so representative in the CAF Confederations Cup, and actually I think if you give them the needed support, and of course for them to perform.
Now, when we talk about Rivers United having 14 points there, just 2 matches now they still have to play. Abia Warriors, they will be facing them. They have 13 points, 1 point behind Rivers United, defending champion of Nigerian Premier Football League. Niger Tornadoes actually stand 5th there with 12 points, the same point with Doma United. You have Enugu Rangers will be facing Rivers also. They have 9 points, playing 8 matches with a -2 goal difference. Bayelsa United and Wiki Torres of Bauchi, they have 8 points apiece. They have Dakada FC, Dakada, they have 7 points, and you are surprised. You just have to look at that, the fact that Dakada, one of the teams that you can say, okay, they are always performing, but this time around, they are not finding it easy. They have 7 points from 9 matches.
Yes, they are up against some of the elite clubs in the NPFL. So you really have to, you don't blame them, you give it to them. They're actually coming up. I think with time, with more investments in the team, they should be able to compete properly. But as it is right now, coming against the likes of Enugu Rangers, Lobby Stars, Rivers United,
could be tough.
It could be very, very tough. Abia Warriors and so on and so forth. These are teams that are well known in the Nigerian Professional Football League. So coming up to compete against them, I think you really
but
have to invest
Doma United and even newcomers, and they are actually among the at least 1st to 6th.
You can't. It's not the same story for every club, so you can't actually compare.
No, I'm trying to say, if you're saying, okay, Dakada, okay, because they are playing against Rivers, Lobby Stars of this, well, what about Doma that just came from NNL?
Yes, Doma is doing well in NNL, but again, you can't really compare. If you look at the EPL, for example, you see clubs that are coming straight from championship and then do well for 1 or 2 seasons and then go back to their rightful place. You see some that come in and then try to stay.
Rightful places? Oh my goodness. Okay, let's just move to the big one that also happened yesterday over there in Europe, the Champions League, UEFA Champions League, that was played between the 4 clubs there, but 2 matches were actually played. Let's look at the result. Inter Milan beat Porto by 1-0 at cost of Lukaku, and you can't take it away from Vardiol, who actually scored 1 for Leipzig. Manchester City, cost of Riyad Mahrez. That game, let's take it 1 by 1. Inter Porto. You look at Porto for the fact that Mourinho got them that in 2004. They will never forget that winning that particular trophy. But right now, that game, a lot of people were thinking maybe Porto, we have a Nigerian there, Seidu Sanusi.
Yes,
maybe they will be able to do something spectacular against Inter Milan at the San Siro, but it never happened. Inter got at least the trick of the day.
Yeah, it was a very difficult game for Inter yesterday. I saw that game yesterday from A to Z. The Inter gave their best. But even though the game was a very close game. It was a very close game. It took the substitute Romelu Lukaku, who came in as a substitute, to score for Inter Milan in the 88th minute or thereabout. So it was a very, very difficult game. FC Porto, they gave the good account of themselves. And coincidentally, Mourinho has coached these 2 clubs. He won Champions League with both of them. So it was no more like a historical meeting.
Mourinho won the trophy with Porto in 2004. He also won it with Inter Milan
in 2010. So it was like, a historical meeting between these two clubs yesterday. So FC Porto gave a good account. They went a man down when one of their players, can't easily remember his name now, was given the red card for that challenge. So, but again, I think the game is still open. They lost away, which is not really a bad result. 1 goal, it can easily be cancelled when they return back to Portugal in Lisbon. So to me, I think it's still open for either of the 2 teams.
It's still open for either of the 2 teams. They're talking about the UEFA Champions League. Let's look at the second match where Leipzig were able to hold their own against Manchester City. Well, you look at the area of Steinder's squad. Guardiola tried everything he could, but it never worked out. Manchester had to share 1-1 against Leipzig. And you look at Leipzig, they were very compact. They held their own against, in fact, they made sure they blotted out their main robotic striker, Erling Haaland. He couldn't do anything. He was not able to be on that superlative form of scoring against teams. So this time around, was it because he was in Germany? Maybe they watched most of his games.
I think he's somebody that knows is that he was in that league before. He was in Bundesliga before he came to EPL. So they knew him very well. They knew the danger I mean, and the havoc that they can actually cause. So he was restricted yesterday in that game. He couldn't really get any clear-cut chances that yesterday. So he took Riyad Mahrez to get Manchester City ahead before Leipzig, got that equalizer. So I think it's like the first group, Inter, FC Porto. This is another group that is also close. And I think Manchester City and Pep Guardiola, they need to do a thorough examination. Man City.
Maybe they should hire you to be there.
Man City don't seem to perform when it comes to Champions League, no matter who
How
they play
try.
against. Yes, it took them. I think they were able to play finals just once when they lost against Chelsea 1-0. Even when Chelsea was not informed that season, I can't remember. So I think they really need to do quite a whole lot. Leipzig did very well yesterday. They were compact, just like you said, and in the return leg at Etihad, I think they will even be more compact. They will try to, beat Man City away from home because they lost so many chances yesterday. They were so daring. The two teams actually, played attacking football. So it's going to be a very difficult one for Manchester City to,
Now let me
get
cut
out
in
of this
there.
group.
You said thorough. You mentioned thorough. What's the thorough about?
Maybe a thorough examination.
And what kind of examination?
Well, they need to go to the drawing board and look at what is going to be a priority in every season. They've won almost all domestic cups, EPL, UEFA Cup, and of course, but they are yet to conquer any of the European competition. I think they have to prioritize. Are we going for the Champions League this season? Let's
Maybe
let's
they should get
prioritize.
some. They should get some handbook
you can't
from
compete exactly.
from Real Madrid.
Or Bayern Munich because you can't win every competition. That's a fact. So if you want to win a European competition, I think that is what Pep Guardiola needs to do, and that stigma is still hanging on his head. That he only won his Champions League with FC Barcelona. He went to Bayern, couldn't do it. He's been at City for close to 7 years or more. He's yet to do it. So I think he needs to prioritize it and see how he can actually break that jinx.
And that's what Mourinho is actually holding against him. That yes, I've won all the European Cup, I've won the Conference League, I've won the Europa Cup, I've won in fact the Champions League twice. With
But the funny enough is if you look at the clubs that Mourinho won Champions League with, Inter Milan,
they were not as strong.
These are not clubs with a fat budget.
As at that time.
As at the time. Even till now, you can't compare Inter with Barcelona or Man City and all of that. So, but Pep has always been lucky all his life, from Barcelona to Bayern to Manchester City. He's a checkbook coach, to me, if I should use that word. But for Mourinho, I think Mourinho has done so well for himself, and then when it comes...
Imagine he won the Europa Conference League with Roma. He won the Europa League with Manchester United. And he won Champions League with two, although we are not here to talk about comparison. That one just came in as a banter anyway.
Absolutely.
Talking about Pep Guardiola, Manchester City playing 1-1 against Leipzig in that game. It was a hard-fought match between the two teams, but now the second leg, let's see what happens between them, who will win that battle at the Etihad Stadium. And for FC Porto against Inter Milan, it's still open. Anything can see happen in the second leg over there in Portugal. Sanusi plays trade with that club who actually did well in 2004 under Jose Mourinho. They are giving you update in the UEFA Champions League matches that we actually played there. Let's talk about our own, yes, the gangling striker right now, Victor Osimhen. Did you know that after scoring in that particular game for Napoli in the UEFA Champions League, Osimhen is 130,000 euros richer after 20th goal, a Napoli goal? Well, it was actually put inside his contract. If you can get 20 goals, 130,000 euros. That's 64 million.
Fantastic.
And if you should score 25 more, extra 5 goals now, he will get more money. And I love the fact that his agent and whoever did that, they were able to foresee the future. And the guy too is trying to at least break his record. I remember the first year he came, he scored 10 goals before he improved on it to be 14 or thereabout. And now he has 20 already. Oh, yes. And if you can get extra 5, Osimhen will be making a lot of money. And from the way it is, he's unstoppable.
Absolutely. He looks unstoppable. I just hope that his teammates will not be envious of him.
I don't think so. The only thing I'm afraid for is defenders. At times when you are doing so well like this, defenders can be so crazy trying to get you down.
I'm even surprised that, in
Italian Serie A, it's very defensive.
It's very, very defensive. You have some rugged defenders who don't want to even see strikers. But again, he is a rugged player,
a striker,
a striker, and that's why you see him, performing week in, week out. Even when he went on injury, I think he recovered
quickly,
and that is due to the fact that he's very young. I really do not think when you talk of age cheats, I don't think he's actually involved in that. Even if at all he's involved, it shouldn't be, the gap shouldn't be too much. But again, if you look at what he's been doing so far, it's been fantastic. Look at the goal he scored in the Champions League against Eintracht Frankfurt two nights ago.
And of course, that goal now has got him 64 million.
Well, absolutely. 64 million naira, that's a huge amount of money. He won a penalty for them, which was actually missed by his teammates. Exactly. Then he got that first goal for them. He got another goal that was actually ruled out for offside. So he's in red hot form right now as it is. And I think at the end of the season, Napoli will have to do much more than what they're actually doing now to hold him back, hold him at the club.
Let me just ask more. Maybe Osimhen should make his PA now. One more story to go. Still talking about Osimhen now. According to Napoli president, he says his valuation is now more than £100 million. Osimhen's valuation is above £100 million. Napoli president Aurelio De Laurentiis.
Well, if you look at the fact that he moved from Nice to Napoli with a fee of around Lille, to Napoli with a fee of around 75 million euros or thereabout. If you look at what he's done between then and now, you can actually know that his valuation is going to get high. Because although an African player, but if you see what he's doing, he's a player that can actually fit into any team. As it is now, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Manchester United, Manchester City, and co. So it's going to be very tough for Napoli to keep him right now. And what they're actually doing by this valuation is to scare clubs away. But I really don't think when it comes to money, some of these big clubs that I mentioned will want to stay away when they see a striker that I think will be useful for them.
Well, Osimhen really improving on himself and really getting his valuation higher every day. That will be it on 360 Sport on Trust TV. Yusuf Akogo, thank you for coming on the show.
Always a pleasure being here.
I am Adini Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.